Joining us now to discuss, Democratic Senator Jeanne Shaheen of New Hampshire. Senator, thanks for joining us. So Leader Schumer endured a lot of blowback from the party last time there was a government shutdown on the table because he voted to keep the government open when Republicans needed Democratic votes. Is it different now? Is Democrats are definitely going to risk a shutdown if these Obamacare subsidies are not part of the package to keep the government open?
Look, I think it's in everyone's interest, Republicans, Democrats, Independents, the country's interest to keep the government open. But it's also in everyone's interest to ensure that those people who need health care can get the health care when they need it at a cost they can afford. And that's what we're talking about when we're talking about extending this program of what we call enhanced premium tax credits that's been in place since COVID to help families be able to afford the cost of health care, to be able to be part of the marketplace under the Affordable Care Act. And these credits are set to expire at the end of the year. We had a chance in the president's big, beautiful, what I call betrayal, where we kicked a bunch of people, millions of people off Medicaid because of that bill. And we also said we weren't going to extend these subsidies to help families afford health insurance. And so we just had a report come out from the Congressional Budget Office saying that there is urgency to do this, because if we do it now, we're going to keep 1.5 million more people from losing their health insurance. If we wait until December, not only is it going to be the 4 million that we're projecting now, plus the 1.5 million, it's going to cost the government another $10 billion. And for the average family who's in the marketplace for the Affordable Care Act, they're going to see their premiums go up over 75%. So a lot of people are going to lose. They're going to get off because they can't afford it.
So about this effort from Senate Democrats, the Senate Majority Leader, Republican John Thune, told our colleague Ted Barrett earlier today, quote, "We're trying to get this place back to normal. And these guys are trying to take a hostage here to do a whole bunch of stuff that can't be done on a short-term funding resolution," unquote. Both Senator Thune, the Republican leader of the Senate, and House Speaker Johnson say there's time after the funding deadline to address these subsidies, which will still be before open enrollment in November. What's your response to that?
Well, there are a lot of ways to get this done. We could, in fact, put it on a continuing resolution if there was agreement to do that. We could do it as a separate piece of legislation as part of the addressing the premium tax credits. We could put it on the defense bill because that's moving. So there are a lot of ways to get this done. The question is there a willingness and a commitment to get it done? And I think what many of my Republican colleagues are beginning to hear from is their constituents who are getting those rate increases projected from their insurance companies. And you know, we've already had 2 of the president's pollsters say this is a real problem for the Republicans if they don't fix this.
Do you worry at all about the politics when it comes to Senate Democrats being blamed for a government shutdown, especially if the subsidies extension also fails to pass?
Well, as I said, there are a lot of ways to get this done. We're not negotiating this in public. We have a couple of weeks now between now and the end of this fiscal year to come up with an agreement. I would hope that saner heads will prevail and that we will be willing to sit down and negotiate an extension, because it is not in anyone's interest, as I said, either to have a government shutdown or to have millions of people lose their health insurance. That's not good for companies in this country who are trying to keep workers healthy and at work. It's not good for the long-term investments that we need to make in America. So we need to fix this. We need to work together to do that.